Yes, thank you. My name is Mathias Jonasson. I work for Svitzer and I'm the managing director for Svitzer in Scandinavia and Germany.
So here we are at the Tug Presentation at International Tug and Salvage, the 28th version of it. And this is quite a momentous occasion for us because we were able to get onto Svitzer's first ever electric tug. So, in your opinion, why is it Svitzer Ingrid so important?
Yeah, I think first of all to take our sort of fair share of the responsibility to decarb the shipping industry is it's an excellent example where you do that, and I think also for being a attractive employer, it's important to take those steps. And I think also on top of that, what we see is that it's quite effective in what it's doing. Both operationally as well as the OPEX in general.
So how many tugs do you operate in the Scandinavia region, and how many ports do you operate in?
Yeah, we have around 30 tugs in total, and we operate a bit north of 40 ports with those tugs. And that goes from Stockholm, there's a Stockholm area around the Swedish coast, up to a bit north of Gothenburg at the Lysekil area, and then more or less all around Denmark.
Okay, and how do the tugs operate in these ports? Because you mentioned earlier to me that you have a pool of tugs. They're not necessarily fixed in the port itself.
That's correct. It's a little bit like a taxi business. So we mobilize the tugs where the jobs are. In Scandinavia, you can't really compare it with the big ports on the continent. So it varies a lot. The volumes varies a lot, and that's why we have a pool of tugs, so we can absorb both the very big needs, short-term needs, as well as the low, when it's lower.
Okay. And the future for Svitzer in Scandinavia is coming right now from Turkey. Can you tell us a bit more about Svitzer Balder and its importance to the company?
Yeah, it's super exciting for us to get her here soon, and I think there is a lot of features on Svitzer Balder that we are super excited about. If you just look from an operational point of view, she will be the escort tug that we've been sort of looking for very long. So she will sit on a 150 plus tons steering force power, which is what the Port of Gothenburg needs for the biggest tankers. And then, as you know, the transverse design also would make her extremely capable in a lot of many perspectives. So that's the design of the ship as such. And then we'll with the batteries, methanol engines, it's going to be super interesting to see how we can perform that. And we are also quite early on this journey to learn. So it's going to be a lot of learning for the crews and for the short team and for the entire Svitzer, how to operate this and how we can sort of scale this up for the future.
Have you put in place a lot of training already, ready for the arrival of Svitzer Balder?
Yeah, there's been a lot of training going on, both on how to maneuver this vessel. And I think we've learned, the tugs in Australia and also in Netherlands, that's been sort of like a front runner. We learned a lot from them, and that's been sort of put forward to our crews in the simulator that we have here in Gothenburg. But also on the methanol and the battery propulsion systems, it's a lot of compliance training needed, which we had to sort of search for and try to find out. There were no sort of clear textbook how you train people for this. But now all the crews are fully trained to get on board. But of course they will learn as they work also. None of them has ever sort of been on a transverse before they came on Svitzer Balder down at the yard. So more than in the simulator.
And finally, how do you see the future for towage in Scandinavia?
Yeah, that's a quite good question. I mean, we're talking about peak oil, etc., and that's, I mean, the energy sector, the oil sector has been quite a big, or is a very big and important sector for us. Depending on how that sort of plays out, it might change also the need of and size of vessels, etc. But I don't see that we will that the market will grow smaller or so. It's probably it's a mature market we are operating in, and it goes a little bit up and down, but it's pretty mature as it is. But it might change between the different type of goods. That's what I believe.